Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at one of my personal favorite racing games, and that's R4 Ridge Racer Type 4 for the PlayStation, which is a '99 release from Namco, and I think it really represents kind of an evolution for the Ridge Racer series. It definitely brings a lot more cars and customizing options and tracks and gameplay modes than the previous games had, but it doesn't lose that same basic, fun arcade racing gameplay, which is really my personal preference. I'm not a big fan of, say, the Gran Turismo series, because I don't really need my racing games to have a ton of cars and really realistic racing physics. All I really want from a racing game is good, tight controls, fun gameplay, and some decent graphics and sound design, and R4 just hits all three of those criteria right on the head. It's a really great game. R4 really has everything I need from a racing game as far as gameplay goes. It's fast, and it controls really well, again, without being hyper realistic. It's a more simple, straightforward pick-up-and-play kind of racing game, which isn't to say that there's no skill required at all, because there definitely is. The tracks vary in difficulty from one to the other, so some are very straightforward, easy to navigate, and others will require a greater mastery of the cornering and drifting in R4, which is something else I found to be pretty simple to do in this game, and thankfully not used excessively. It's not like Initial D, for example, where entire tracks, or at least portions of tracks, will be pretty much nothing but drifting, which can be fun in its own way, but definitely slows down the gameplay. Here, I'd say it's used appropriately. Some tracks definitely have some very difficult turns that will take some time to master, but overall it's not excessive, and it doesn't slow down the gameplay. I think the controls in R4, at least as far as an arcade racing game go, is pretty much perfect. If I have a complaint with the gameplay in R4, it would be in the Grand Prix mode, which itself is really fun, but regardless of how well you perform in the previous race, you're always started in last place, which I get that it makes it more challenging, but it would have been nice to at least be given the chance to start in a higher position. But other than that, no real complaints with the gameplay itself. The selection of gameplay modes isn't really anything too outstanding. You get the aforementioned Grand Prix, plus Time Attack, Versus, and a Garage to customize the various cars in the game. So it has pretty much everything you would expect in a racing game, and not much more as far as the gameplay modes go. But in terms of the gameplay itself, I think R4 is really amazing. And keeping with that, I said earlier that all I really need from a racing game is good gameplay and some decent graphics and sound design. I'm happy to say that the graphics and sound in R4 are actually much better than decent. I think they're really good. For a '99 PS1 release, I think this is a beautiful game. Some great 3D models and some great lighting and reflections, and even the camera angles during the replays are really good. I usually don't like to watch replays in a racing game because they're kind of boring, but here I find them to be pretty entertaining, especially when matched up with the game's soundtrack, which is awesome. It all has a very 90s dance groove kind of vibe, which typically isn't my kind of music, but it actually matches up really well here with the visuals, and it makes for some excellent racing music, which I found kind of surprising. So, I think the visuals are amazing. I think the soundtrack is outstanding, and it's something I'd probably listen to outside of the game, especially while doing a little bit of night driving, and the gameplay itself is pretty much flawless. That's why this is one of my all-time favorite racing games. So it's obvious that I really love this game, and I highly recommend it to fans of arcade-style racing games, especially if you've maybe played the first couple of games in the Ridge Racer series and walked away from it. I'd recommend taking a second look, starting with this game. It does make a lot of improvements. It really is an excellent game, and good news, it's also very affordable. If you take a look on eBay, you can find it for $10 or less, which it is well worth. So to racing fans, I say to you, go out today, get yourself a copy of R4 Ridge Racer Type 4, enjoy the graphics, enjoy the tunes, and the top-notch gameplay. This game is groovy.